You are Locked On Knicks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, it was a night to forget for the Knicks. They get blown out in Game 5 up in Boston, 127-102. The Celtics live to fight another day. Again, a 25-point victory for Boston. As we said, they force a Game 6. That'll be Friday night at Madison Square Garden. Now, Jalen Brunson fouled out tonight. Josh Hart took an elbow to the eye, lots of blood. And now the Knicks have to pick themselves up off the mat, as we said, for a Game 6 Friday night. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're in New York, or you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. Spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you. Please follow me on X at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The postcast, which we've been doing all season long, gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, folks, let's get right to it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, as we said, an ugly Game 5, 127-102, and it started relatively early with the foul trouble for the Knicks. We'll get to that coming up. As we said, Jalen Brunson did foul out. Lots of ugly numbers across the board for New York. They were led by Josh Hart, who, believe it or not, had 24, but again, he took that elbow to the eye early. Actually, at least at first, did not require any stitches. They may have stitched him up at halftime, but again, it required a shorts change, a jersey change, obviously some Band-Aids to cut the cut to stop bleeding. Regardless, it was an ugly all-around night. As for the Celtics, they were led by Derrick White. Remember, no Jason Tatum, and White proved to be the difference tonight. He pumped in a game-high 34, including 7 3-pointers. And again, White, as we said, led the way for Boston with 34. Jalen Brown, who, of course, was so good in the championship run last year, he was pretty good tonight. 9 of 17 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. He had 26 points, and as we said, just an ugly night all around for the Knicks. As for the Knicks shooting, it was ugly. They shot just 35% from the floor. Mikal Bridges missed 10 shots. OG Anunoby was 1 of 12. Remember, folks, these are with numbers in a game that was pretty much over early stages of the third quarter. So OG 1 of 12. Cat wasn't bad, only took 11 shots. Jalen Brunson missed 10 shots. Josh Hart missed 8 shots. Deuce McBride missed 5. So again, the shooting was terrible. It was just an ugly night all around. Wait till you see the plus-minus numbers from the Knicks starters. Just absolutely ugly stuff. By contrast, the Celtics plus-minus numbers are phenomenal, and we'll get to them. All right, when Jalen Brunson fouls out and you have Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby combined to score 15 points, you know it's going to be a long night. You know it's coming up in a loss, and that's exactly what we got from New York. Mikal Bridges, 4 of 14. As we said, OG, 1 of 12. Even Karl-Anthony Towns, who did pump in 19, but again, not very efficient, as the Knicks go 29 of 81 from the floor, 12 of 30 from three-point land. Of course, the Celtics live and die by the three. More good stuff from them tonight. 22 of 49 from beyond the arc. That's 45% from three. They were 44 of 84 from the floor in total. That's 53%. So the Celtics brought their A game, despite the fact they didn't have their best player. Now, for the first, I would say, 2.5 quarters, a couple of minutes into the third quarter, it always seemed to me like the Knicks would prevail. That huge run in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, a 16-3 run by the Celtics to be exact. Well, that closed the deal and made me feel very differently about what we expected tonight to be. Again, even early when Boston got a mini run to start, including 4 for 4 from Derrick White, again from 3 to start the game. If you recall, in game 4, he did the exact same. 4 of 4 from 3 to start. Excuse me. And now White did it again tonight, 4 of 4 from 3 to start. And what's interesting is game plans changed. If you recall, 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter, that's when Missoula and Boston went to the hack Mitchell Robinson theory, or at least point of view, if you will, strategy, if you will. And they immediately left it because, believe it or not, Mitchell Robinson hit the first 6 free throws he took. He actually ended up 6 for 6. So as we said, game plans changed. The early, even earlier than we expected, intentional fouling of Mitchell Robinson. He makes all 6 free throws. He played 23 minutes and had 13 rebounds and 8 points. So again, a good night for Mitchell Robinson, but it was a good night because Bridges was ineffective. OG Anunoby was ineffective. Karl Anthony Towns only played 29 minutes. And of course, Jalen Brunson fouled out. Now to the plus minus, they're ugly. Minus 25 for Mikal Bridges, minus 24 for Josh Hart, minus 20 for Cat, minus 18 for Jalen Brunson. And of course, if you've been with us all season long, we have quite frequently discussed plus minus and how effective they are at I guess, predicting a game, if you will, or at least telling you which way a game was going to go. And by no stretch of the imagination were the Knicks any good tonight. No, they were terrible. And as we said, all 5 starters were double figures in plus minus. And as for the Celtics, amazing numbers. Jaylen Brown plus 28, Derrick White plus 26, Drew Holiday plus 23. Now, we'll get to the Kristaps Porzingis portion of the show because I'm confused, to say the least. He got the start tonight, played 12 minutes. 12 minutes, including 0 in the second half. KP did not suit up, or at least did not play in the second half. It tells you all you need to know about exactly what the Celtics are getting from Kristaps Porzingis. So Porzingis goes into the starting lineup for Jason Tatum, and we have a 1-point effort from Kristaps Porzingis. A point, a rebound, a block, and a personal foul from Kristaps Porzingis. So, needless to say, the dominant presence in the second half for the Celtics was, of course, none other than former Knick Luke Kornet, who was just amazing. Kornet, 5 of 5 from the floor. Amazing stuff. All of his points in the paint. He had 10 points, 9 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and wait for it, folks, 7 blocked shots. Not another Celtic player off the bench had a block. Derrick White had 3, 1 each for Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, and of course 7 for Luke Kornet, who was a force in that second half. The third quarter can be a predictor of a game, and it certainly was today. We had a relatively close game. In fact, we were tied at 69 at the half, at 59 at the break. 32-17 third quarter score for the Celtics over the Knicks, and that was it. Now, Boston outscored the Knicks by 10 in the fourth as well, but for most of the fourth quarter, if not all of it, the game had been decided. So again, the third quarter, not a good one for New York. What's also interesting is that for the first time this series, the Knicks actually led after the first quarter. Amazing stuff, considering 1, the hot start from Derrick White, and 2, no Jason Tatum. The Knicks were 5-0 on the road in this postseason. Obviously, that changes now heading back to New York. If you recall, they won all 3 games in Detroit in their first round series. Now, they had won the first 2 in Boston before losing tonight. So that sets up, obviously, a game 6, which we will get to. As we said, 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter when the Hack-a-Mitch started. And of course, we've discussed this really all 5 games of this series. Really, if you want to include Detroit as well, this entire playoff run. It's silly. It's lame. It feels like eventually things are going to change. They'll just make it an intentional foul, in which case you're certainly not going to foul Mitchell Robinson anymore. And Mitchell Robinson can save us all a headache by making his free throws, which is exactly what he did tonight, again, 6 for 6 from the line. Now, as for free throws, the Knicks shot 40 of them. They missed 8 free throws for Boston. They missed 9. So it just goes to show, despite the fact that it was a blowout, these free throw numbers are going to be important down the stretch. They always are, especially game 1, which of course was a 3-point game. Game 2, which was a 1-point game. Game 3 was a blowout, and game 4 was a close game as well, 121-113. That's a single-digit game. And then obviously tonight was a blowout. So when the Celtics win, they usually blow them out. Everything else is a tight game, which obviously makes you nervous heading in for game 6. We'll get to that, our player of the game, all of it coming up next. All right, we'll start with this. Spring is here, and that means it's home project season. Whether you're refreshing a room or tackling a full renovation, Wayfair is the best-kept secret for all things home improvement. From small updates like stylish cabinet hardware to major upgrades like new vanities, sinks, or outdoor lighting, Wayfair has quality products for every budget. I just upgraded my bathroom with Wayfair, and the selection was incredible. Their free and fast shipping made it so easy, no hauling heavy items from the store. I love that they have top brands like GE and Moen and great prices as well. Shopping was seamless, and I found exactly what I needed to fit my space and style. Wayfair makes home improvement easy. Get it now at wayfair.com. That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. All right, next up is Car Gurus. Shopping for a car should be exciting, not exhausting, but between the confusing prices and hidden fees, it can feel overwhelming. That's why I love using Car Gurus. They help you cut through the noise and show you the best deals with full confidence. With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has more new and used cars than any other major online marketplace in the U.S. They verify dealers, provide real price analysis, and give you the tools and data you need to make the right choice without second-guessing yourself. Need a deal you can trust? Well, Car Gurus makes it easy to compare vehicles side by side with unbiased deal ratings. The best feature? Well, price drop alerts, so you know exactly when the perfect car is available for your budget. Plus, the in-depth vehicle details gives you peace of mind before stepping onto any lot. It's no wonder similar web estimate traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.com, cargurus.com. All right, folks, we are back after a 127-102 victory for the Boston Celtics. Take it away. Here we go. It's time for the player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
All right, if you were with us for the first segment, you know by now it's Luke Kornet, the former Knick, absolutely dominating the glass on both ends of the court in the second half specifically. Folks, he chalked up 7 blocks. Luke Kornet's line, once again, 26 minutes, 5 of 5 from the floor, 10 points, 9 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 7 blocks, and was a plus 20. Amazing stuff. And considering the Celtics live and die by the 3, perhaps an adjustment, because the Celtics dominated in the paint tonight, specifically in the second half, on both ends of the floor, and that stifled the Knicks offense. And now because of it, we need at least a game 6, which of course will be Friday night back at the real Garden, Madison Square Garden. Take note, the tip time now for game 6 and 7, if needed 7, will both be at 8 Eastern. So we've had early start times, including the afternoon affair earlier in the series, but we've had early start times. Now we're going late. 8 on Friday for a game 6, and then Monday back in Boston if necessary. If Boston wins on Friday, game 7 would be Monday in Boston, also an 8 o'clock tip time. Thanks for making Locked On Sports New York your first listen today. For your second listen, check out Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game, every night until an NBA champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NBA Game Night on Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Knicks. That, of course, the All-Stars, Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf. Again, they're over at Locked On Knicks. They handle all the stuff there, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Knicks lose at 127-102. They now lead the series 3-2. We'll have to see about Josh Hart's eye. He obviously played the rest of the game, so it shouldn't be a problem. By the way, Hart played 36 minutes, only 29 for Karl Anthony Towns, 40 for Mikal Bridges. But again, OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges combined for 5 field goals and 15 points in 76 minutes. Considering their scores, job not well done from a Knicks perspective. Again, game 6 will be Friday night, and of course, we will be with you immediately following that game. Have a great night, everyone.